Trap managed to beat Cyril with double Stargate Voidray a couple of times, and if Trap can do it against Cyril, then why shouldn't you be capable of doing it on your ladder adventures? Here is my guide on how to play double Stargate Voidray into Quick Storm. A couple of quick pointers. We're going to be playing against the AI, and I'm going to be going over some points as we play it. Now, very common at the higher level is to block your opponent's natural with the Pylon Scout. I'm not going to be doing that. People who are aware of how to do that exactly, you can just do it. If you're below Masters, I don't believe that's going to be worth it. We're just opening up with a standard 14 Pylon, 16 Gate, following it up with a 17 Assimilator, so the gas. And we just keep rallying down stairs. Now we're only going to continue with this build as long as we see a hatchery first. If you're struggling against pool first, whether that's a 12 pool or any other pool, I have video guides on those as well, so you can check those out on what to respond against those exactly. We send down a worker. You can in theory rally this one. I like to send it down a bit earlier. Every now and then we scout. Well, the AI is Terran, but he's elite. That might actually cause some problems later on. But for now, let's just throw down our Nexus at 20, the standard. And we can check, hey, he has a hatchery. You can stay around with your probes, you can also go back home. I like to stay around with the probe just to make sure to see how many links my opponents build and where they go. Once again, if you're below Masters, just making sure that there is a hatchery first, most of the time is going to be enough. You don't need much more information. Try to focus on your build as much as possible. 21 Assimilator, 22 Pylon. As always, just your standard 1 gate expand build. If you do not know how to play 1 gate expand at this point yet, this is one of the things I definitely tell you, hey, get that down. It's important against Terran, it's important against Zerg, and even against TOS is a viable build order. So just an all-around good build order. We're going to open up with an Adept, which we chrono boost. And then we can throw down our Stargate. Do note, I'm not getting my Warp Gate yet. I get my Warp Gate after I get my second Adept started. I can start my Warp Gate once I get the gas available for that. Please note that I'm continuously building workers as well. Not at one point do I stop building workers. If I do, I will mention that explicitly. I can start my Warp Gate. I'm a little late with it. It's not the biggest deal. Alright? Continuous worker production is very important. Second Adept is on the way. You can chrono boost, you don't have to. And we're just going to continue on with the build basically. The moment our Stargate finishes up, we can start our Voidray. We like to chrono boost that one. We can start our third gateway units, which is once again going to be an Adept, and we start our third Pylon as well. So this is all very tight. If you're afraid you're not capable of doing that, start your Pylon a little bit earlier, and maybe it will delay your third gate unit by a bit. But that's not the biggest of deals. At least you won't get supply blocked. Now, once we have our first Voidray, we're going to be doing some cool things. So our Voidray is about to finish up, and our Oracle starts right now. Now, here I pause for a second. What I like to do with this initial Voidray is I like to scout around the map for any potential overlords. So I'm just going to be going towards this left side, maybe a little bit towards that right side, just making sure, hey, is there any overlords there? Then afterward, I'm going to join together with my Adepts to take my third base with that Voidray. So I'm not moving straight across the map. I'm first killing the overlord on my side of the map, and then I'm going to be killing maybe a Ling at my third base or something like that. So let's continue. This Voidray. I imagine there's an overlord over here. Bzz, bzz. Get my fourth Pylon. Bzz, bzz. Overlord that. Then we grab two Adepts. Make sure we have this one still on the wall. And we send our probe to the third base area. Once our probe arrives at the third base area, we build a third base. Duh. And we start our Pylon over here. We put our Adepts in this little nuke, and we make sure that they're safe. We add two Assimilators, and at this point our Oracle finishes up as well. Now we can start harassing with that. We start a third Stargate unit, another Voidray, and we make sure that we don't get supply blocked. Now there's a couple of things we can do at this point as well. The moment our warp gate finishes, we can either warp in 2 extra adepts, or we can say, hey, 2 extra adepts, I don't want that. We can just stick with 2 adepts. Always get a battery at your third base. It's important. The moment you have a battery there, you're going to be safe from most link floods. Okay, so like I said, I like to get my extra adepts usually. So I'll just warp those in. Then I send these across the map. I like to sacrifice these as well. Get a second Stargate. You can try to harass with your Voidrays, but you don't actually need to be doing damage with your... Oh my god. You don't actually need to be doing damage with your Voidrays. Please do remember that. It is not important to do damage with your Voidrays. The most important thing is to stay alive with them. They're just a tool for you to ensure that you can't die. So you get a third Voidray at this point, and you try to kill any overlords that are around, and you just start patrolling them on the map. You're going to use your Oracle to revelate your opponent's base and make sure that you know what's popping from your opponent's axe. Is it drones? Is it links? Is it roaches? Are you being all-in? If you're being all-in, add a couple of cannons, add a couple of batteries, add more Voidrays. Are you not being all-in? Well, in that case, probably we want to be going into extra gases at this point. So this is a little bit of a supply challenge and a guide all in one. We get our charge, we get our +1, and we're losing units against the marine tank all in that the Terran is doing apparently. Adding the Templar Archives over here as well, because we want to be rushing into that storm as soon as possible. Now, there is one thing here that I really like to do. And that is basically, I love to get my my fourth base before I add too many gateways. Now the reason why I like to do that is because then I can also start adding cannons there. I only do this, however, if I saw that my opponent built a fourth base himself. So I try to match my opponent's fourth base timing. Only on 4 gateways, you may ask? I say yes, only on 4 gateways, because we don't actually need that many units from the gateways. We're gonna be building lots of cannons, spread them out. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. And the rest is just Templars. So you'd be like, well, Kevin, this is great. We don't really need to do anything. Yeah, that's correct. This is kind of a brain-dead composition. You're just building cannons, you're building Voidrays, you're adding Templar. Look, I only built 4 Voidrays as well. I don't get too many. The moment I realize I'm safe, I'm like, okay, I can't die anymore. I see my opponent has a lot of gases. I can stop Voidray production. I don't need that. Just start adding some stasis, perhaps. Hop. And now, the one trick that I always use is that at this point, if you feel like you're safe, you can add a couple of extra gateways. Or what you can do, if you think you're very safe, is like, hey, why not add a fleet beacon and a 3rd Stargate? Get my +1 going, right? I mean, I have a lot of cannons ready already. I can add more. I have storms. What can really kill me at this point? Well, not a whole lot. We're just going to be going straight into carriers. You can still get your +2 attack, but I don't find it very necessary. Continue your Voidray production for a bit until your fleet beacon finishes up, and then just max out on carriers, basically, is what I'm going to be saying. So I think I lost 2, what you call them? 2 adepts here, which isn't great. But everything else, this build, honestly, pretty much this is how I think you should be doing it. Not too many gateways. Gateways are useless. Zealots don't really defend that well. They don't work well in combination with Voidrays. So I'd say, yeah, just get a lot of cannons. Lots of static defense. Go into those fast carriers. And from there on out, aim with your opponent like your life depends on it. And let's see if it also works against the elite AI. I think we'll be fine, guys. I have a feeling we might just be absolutely fine. So, yeah, that's actually just going to be it. I think I might do something a bit more in depth in a week or so from now. But first, get busy with this build order, get it down, and then next week we'll go over some problems. Maybe you know what? I'll have you guys send in some replays. Okay, so this is gonna be it for this. I'll pause this. I'll put it on my own screen. If you play this build order and you do this build order well, and you have a problem with this build order, you send me an email with the replay to this address. It will also be in the description below if I don't forget it. And we'll be going over your replays next week. It's a little cool, no? That's cool. So quick 10 minutes here. Quick 10-minute build order guide, supply challenge, Harstem hour overlay. This is what you guys want. High value. Okay, yeah, so send your replays there. I'm going to go over 4 or 5 or whatever. We can talk a bit about how it went well, how it went terrible. I hope this helps. And I hope to see lots of Zergs complaining about double Stargate Voidray in the next week. Thanks all for watching. Please smash like, really. Like, I say it every time, but it actually really helps. Smash like, leave a comment. Really, this type of stuff helps me so much. People are like, well, how do I support you the best? I don't have a lot of money. I don't want to send you anything. I think you're an idiot. Just like and comment. Even if your comment is just, I think you're an idiot. I'm fine with that. I know I'm an idiot. If you say it in the comments, that's great. All right. Love you all, and see you all next time for a new video. Okay. Don't forget to send emails. I love you all platonically. Bye bye.